sidefx has really begun to push the boundaries of Copernicus and the SOP network. They're starting to blur a little. In fact, we're getting simulations dropped right into Copernicus, which is awesome because this is so much easier. It's fast, it's easy, it's right there. All this is set up for us. So what it's doing, it's setting up a flip solver, a flip sim inside Copernicus. And here, I'll just run it. This is actually a flip solver, but it's flattened down. So this gives us a lot of opportunities to use this for compositing, for those nice little features, for the times when you don't want to set up an entire flip simulation just to get an image blending of some smoky fluid like motion in the background. And you might just want something super simple like that. This is exactly what you can use. Now, it's available with the flow. So you just drop down a flow block. Since it's still a simulation, it still requires something to emit and you need temperature. Okay, now here I have a very simple setup. I took an SDF circle shape, turned it into black and white using the SDF to mono, made it a little smaller, eroded it so I would have a bit of variation on the edges. And I use this to drive the temperature in my flow. And this essentially should be a flip solver. The ramp here is used to pipe in. It says color, but I believe the color input socket is the emitter of the solver. So you can see it starts with this little ball. Now I didn't play around with this too much other than just using this basic setup. So I didn't tweak these parameters, the buoyancy or anything too much. In fact, I only have the temperature plugged in. I didn't even plug in the velocity. So this, I spent more time trying to blend it in with other stuff, is actually the picture frame in my introductory scene. I use this to pipe it back into Karma. This is actually running live in the Karma scene now. This is the out flip solver, which I use to pipe into Solaris. Give me 1 second. It's a very heavy scene. So that's why it's always cooking, because it's running multiple simulations. Some of them are cached. I cached as much as I could, but it is still trying to do something. It's cooking all the time just because there's so much in the scene. Let me go back to frame 1. Fog box turned off. Good. Now, am I behind a wall? Is that why I can't see anything? Okay, there. Let me turn it on now. I really should disconnect the palm net, but that's what this picture frame is. Here we go. Let's go to camera 1. I have way too much stuff in here. Let's try the CPU. Okay, that's much better. I think I'm running on a video RAM with the recording and everything happening on the background. All the picture frames. That is actually running live. It's being piped into a material here, the picture, which is pulling in. Now, this isn't really new. This op function has always been there. You can always pipe it in like that. I've been piping in since the beginning, since Copernicus came out. This was already working. What you do need, it doesn't work out of the box though. So when you drop in a material, a Karma material library over here, now you have to remember to enable this, allow shader parameter animation. Otherwise it won't update. You will be stuck on the first frame. Now let me change this to a different frame. It will need to cook. Oh, it doesn't. That's a nice frame. Let me disconnect. There we go. It's running in the background. This is being piped in directly from that flow solver in Copernicus. And so is this glitching effect on the TV. That is actually a live Copernicus feed. That's one of the reasons why it's so heavy. And not to mention the terrain over here. The terrain over here is a live, I don't think I cached it. It's a live Copernicus driven height terrain converted into geometry. I'm running a little low on RAM just because of the recording as well, thrown on top. Otherwise, I would never use Karma CPU unless I absolutely have to. But let's look at the glitching effect in Copernicus. It's in the TV screen. Now, I use a combination of a mask to make it transparent. Remember, there's another plane behind the TV screen that is acting as a backlight. This is where the Copernicus magic happens. So this is the live feed. So let's go here. Let's go to the slap comp net 1. Tray. Toy. Slap comp. Here. Okay. So this should run a lot faster. There it is. This is actually a very simple Copernicus setup. This, unfortunately, is not a live render. I did do a live render at the beginning, but it kept on crashing just because I had so much stuff in the scene. I ended up just doing a static image because that's all I really need. I just need this toy as a static, crypto mat it, blend it, like this part was just to make it a little flat so it would look a little bit more simpler on the TV screen. The glitching effect is just, it starts off with a line, SDF shape line, turned into black and white with the SDF to mono. Then I add a bit of noise. Now you can't really tell though. It's very faint. Oh, actually I have the mask turned on. So this is the noise that I'm adding. It's the bubble noise. What I should do is multiply it. There we go. That to sort of tear up the edges. But then you need to remap it. So let's go to composite because it won't be strong enough. If we look at like the values here, this is 0.14. It maxes out at like, let's take the most brightest point, 0.2. That's really low. That's really like, that's nothing. So when you blend it in, it's not gonna look much, especially on the TV screen. Oh, there it goes. It crashed. We're back. Now, as I was blending this with multiply, but it's very weak. So you would need to remap it just to push it. So it maxed out as 0.2 or something. Oh, let's go to composite view. Okay, much better. These are much better, but now it's too thick. Let's go this. Okay, yeah, that's much better. And the animation comes from the transform. So the transform 2D just has a sine wave. As you all know, I love sine waves. So it just has a very fancy sine waves going up and down with a bit of noise. So there's a bit of randomness thrown into it. So it goes back and forth. Just to throw in some randomness. And that is blended in with the toy render and out. This is fed back into the karma material. So it's driving the material on the TV screen. Let me turn it on. And that's this guy over here, this one.